Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth. And today from Holman, from the Handcrafted series, we have the KJV Study Bible. Now I've already reviewed this block and I've also compared it to the CSB Study Bible. So I'll kind of show you just a little bit, but really what I want to do today is to give you a full comparison of the entire line of work from the Handcrafted series. So let's take a look. All right, so first of all, what we have today is the KJV Study Bible. And I've showed you, I'll go ahead and put this video in the end screens, but I'll also put it in the video description. It has a 9-point font, it has your commentaries on the bottom. The only major difference between this one and this one is this one kind of has some Hebrew word studies occasionally throughout the commentary. Like this, it'll break down a Hebrew word. Of course, in the New Testament, it'll break down a Greek word. It's a center column reference here. This is laid out a little bit differently, and it has the columns on the outside margin. So that may be something that you like. The art gilding is all the same. Pretty much, it's the same commentary, pretty much the same articles, all the same features. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of compare the goat skins and the variations between the goat skins and their pluses and their minuses real quickly. All right, so this one is the CSB Study Bible, and this is a very spongy, and almost look, it has a memory foam kind of effect to it. Really nice cowhide liner, super floppy. This one is going to give you the flop that you floppy goat skin lovers like. Pretty cool. This one is the Ancient Faith Study Bible in the Holman Handcrafted series, and this is more of a stiff goat skin. So this is kind of going to give you that stiff, it doesn't flop as bad as this one will. So if you kind of like that stiff cover, this is a good option. And the reason for that is the liner. The liner on this one is a little bit stiffer and not as floppy as these. This one's also not as thick. One thing jarring about this one is the paper is a little bit kind of antiqued to give it that old look, because this is an Ancient Faith Study Bible. I'll put all these Bibles in the video description so you can check them out just in case you want. These are ancient commentaries from ancient church fathers from like the 300s to the 500s and beyond. Now let's move into the single column wide margin. Now this one also has a bit of a stiff liner. What really makes this nice is look how that lays. It's even stiffer than the Ancient Faith. So you can hold it in your hand and read it. This has got really nice margin space on the inside and the outside. That is your poetic settings, and of course when you move into more of a paragraph setting, it has a really nice look. It does take away that gutter a little bit, but again, you have gutter space on the inside, on the outside, on the top, and on the bottom. Really nice. Another option is the verse by verse. And they also have this one in the brown goat skin, and this one is super floppy. You're going to have that nice flop, and in a Bible like this one, it's not going to matter as much. You have your double column, verse by verse, red accents, end of page references, bottom of page notes. This is a black letter edition, so no red letters in the New Testament on this, or this, which is the single column, or this, which is the Ancient Faith. All of these are going to be standard black letter. Now both of these are red letter, so that's important. Your CSB Study Bible is going to have your words of Christ in red, as is your KJV Study Bible is going to have your words of Christ in red. Now they are very nice and dark red, but if you don't like red letters, then that's going to be an option you're going to have to contend with. Sometimes, like, see, this has different accent colors on the commentary, but again, this commentary is largely the same. The textual notes are going to be a little bit different because they kind of cross translations, but they are largely going to be the same Bible other than the translation. Now, this is an important difference. With these two study Bibles, you're going to notice something about the spine. This one has a very hard reinforced spine. So when you open it, that reinforcement is going to hold this flat. Okay, now I don't know why, but they didn't do it on this one. Now I have opened this several times, and so far I don't see a crease. That crease generally shows up pretty soon in the process, but there is no reinforcement in this spine. When you open it, check it out. See how it concaves right there? That's a bit concerning for me, but I mean, so far, so good. I know Allen doesn't reinforce their spines. Maybe it's the type of goat skin that they're using. This does not seem to have a split liner, so I don't think that the liner is kind of got the stress line in it to keep it from having that wrinkle in the spine. But otherwise, this is beautiful. I love this goat skin. I love this liner. I love the perimeter gold. The corner work is adequate for a mass-produced Bible. Really nice, soft. Look at that big, thick edge lining. And again, that's going to be the same feature you're going to see on the CSB Study Bible. And it's also going to be similar to what you see on the Ancient Faith Study Bible. where they have that thicker edge line to kind of reinforce that spine. It's not going to be so much on this. That's going to be a little thinner because this has a much thinner spine. Now this spine is also not reinforced, but it's not thick enough to really concave. So you're not going to have that issue here. This spine is reinforced. It is very interesting that they elected not to reinforce this spine. That's kind of baffling to me. But again, you got the same thing. The spine is not going to concave in because it's reinforced. A couple more things that I want to show you that are an interesting feature that's a little bit different in the Holman Handcrafted Collection. That is the way they do their end sheets. Now check this out. This one they did kind of normal. Okay, that's what you're used to seeing. And then they have like an extra end sheet here. I've never seen that before. Normally you have your cover, a single end sheet, and then that's it. But then check this one out. Okay, again, the same extra end sheet. But then when you get to the Ancient Faith, this is strange. They glued the whole end sheet together. And they don't have the extra end sheet here. I have no idea why they elected to do that. I don't think structurally it's a problem. I don't think it matters. It's just something that I want you to know that happened. Now when you move into this one, again, same thing. You're going to see completely glued together, no extra end sheet, and again with your CSB single column wide margin glued together. No idea why they elected to do that. But anyhow, as far as I can tell, this spine is not going to crease, as far as I can tell. Now I can't guarantee that it won't because it doesn't have that structural support. But it does have 3 excellent ribbons. I really like their ribbon choice, especially like the color choices because it really blends with the Bible. You got the red for the red or gold art gilding. You have the gold for the gold accents and gilding, and then you have the black to match the cover. And they did that for all of their Bibles. All of them have the same color ribbons. Hopefully that helps you make a decision on how Holman Handcrafted kind of does their Bibles and how each goatskin is a little bit different. Like this one's a bit more pebbly and soft. This one is a bit more thick. This is the CSB with the spongy. This is the KJV that's a little less spongy but still kind of has a shiny look. You see this one's dull, that one's shiny, this one's super dull, this one's kind of dull, this one's kind of shiny. So they're all over the place with their goatskin. But they all seem to be good quality and they're all really relatively affordable. So there you have it. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nicholsworth.